Welcome back, friends. We've got another episode of the Suited Kings podcast. Max is just shaking his head at me. I don't know if that means we're gonna re-record this or if he's just
we're
anytime
gonna,
he hears.
We're gonna let it run. When I hear your
It
voice, it just upsets
That's
me.
kind of what I figured it was, but I figured I needed to check in there. Max, how you doing over there?
Yeah, you know this. You know the story. I went to Vegas. It's been over a week since I've been there. I've already been back for over a week, I should say, or been home. Was there for only 3 days as I, caught the WSOP flu immediately, so that was exciting. I'll go on a rant about that maybe in a little bit here, but yeah, it sucked. So it was a rough one. I was just bedridden for days and days. So that's why it's been a minute since we put a recording out.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you? Yeah, I heard you've had an eventful week. Actually, both of us were outside of Vegas for the last week. You had some stuff going on. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we were. So we were last recorded 2 weeks ago. The next week of that, I was playing mostly the Millie Maker every day, which we'll talk mostly about. And then, I was home for a week. I actually went to a World Cup game as well in Kansas City. That was cool.
By yourself, right? You literally just you're not even a fan of soccer, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm not really a soccer fan.
Do they call it football or is it soccer?
We call it soccer, but the world calls it football.
So as the World Cup, do we just...
No, still soccer. Okay. I'm still,
Okay.
We're hosting it. Yeah. The Americans are hosting it, so we still get to call it soccer, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. Okay. So, yeah, you did that by yourself just on a whim, which I think is pretty cool. Very, that's like the quintessential poker lifestyle. Just like travel, do what you want when you want, hit some big scores, then go out, do what you want. Like, I'm proud of you for living that life. Good for you.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit envious at the same time, obviously.
Well, if you were before, listen to this just maximum EV that I got with it. So I bought the ticket a couple weeks beforehand. I got the cheapest available. Like, I don't really care where I sit. I just thought it'd be
because you're experience. A life nit, that's for sure.
Exactly. Well, it was a $258 ticket.
Okay.
I was talking to the guy I sat next to. We were way in the back. He got his ticket for $500, and I'm like, oh,
what the hell?
Yeah. So I had looked a bit. Prices basically doubled within about a week of me buying it.
Oh,
so
I thought he bought it from like a scalper or something.
No. Like I think I bought the absolute bottom. Like, I may have gotten the cheapest ticket in the stadium.
Half price though. Good for you. I saw the picture. Yeah. The view didn't actually even look that bad, so that was cool.
The view was good. The only issue is you need that one side of the field.
I'm just kidding.
No, you could see it perfectly well.
Yeah.
It's just the one side of the field. If the ball was way over towards the sideline, you couldn't quite see that. But gotcha. You can just look up at the screen. And
how was the vibe, the energy of the event? Like, were people like, can you just feel the, with the roars of the crowds and stuff like that? I've never been to something like that, so I'm just genuinely curious.
So honestly, I would say an American football game is a lot better in that sense. Now, I will say, like, part of the thing is, so it was Netherlands versus Tunisia, and a lot of the people at the game were Americans.
Hold on, so what is Tunisia?
It's right in northern Africa, I think, by Algeria. But yeah, smaller country. And yeah, so they were kind of an underdog. Netherlands, even though Netherlands got knocked out recently, they were still the better team and won. But there were like a bunch of Netherlands fans and then some Tunisia.
Okay.
And then a bunch of Americans. Like, I bought a Netherlands jersey. I figured, hey, I'll pick a team to root for.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. What was it, like $100 for the jersey?
It was, souvenir. But yeah, so it was actually not as loud because not all of the crowd was rooting for the same side, and not all of the crowd was even like invested in the result.
I'm assuming that if it was, in Europe or wherever, anywhere outside of America, it probably would have been a lot more electric.
Well, if it was at the home
or
stadium,
like
one of them.
Yeah.
And I think, like,
we're a soccer podcast now, by the way.
We are, right? I think like if it was, the semifinal or something, it would
Okay.
have been wild. But
Anything else exciting besides the soccer game?
I had a bachelor party. Um, honestly, the girl you mentioned on the last pod,
Uh-oh.
we hung out some more too, and that was fun. So
Okay, good for you, dude. All right, things are going
yeah,
somewhere. I love it. Shout out to her. I'm gonna, you know what? I'll keep her name private because it doesn't
no,
matter.
you just shout it.
Oh, shout out Shelby.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
I
great name.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
great name.
Proud of you, Wesley. You know what? Before you know it, you're gonna be in my shoes, just daddy mode, everything else on the sidelines. Sorry, Shelby. I'm just kidding. Don't want to ruin it for this man. Um, but anyways, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you took a week off. And as we've mentioned on this podcast over the years, like taking a break from poker, and especially the way you did it, like you came home, you went, then you traveled again to somewhere else, and just got away from poker. I think it's just so refreshing. I'm currently on like a 4 day break. I actually spent a lot of obviously I haven't been playing a lot of WSOP, but I have been on Club WPT Gold grinding out the Crown series. Pretty much just got slaughtered, honestly. It hasn't been great. Um,
Hmm.
honestly, and on top of that, I feel like I've been playing very good. I just have been running pretty below EV in a lot of spots, so that have mattered. But essentially, just get deep to where it's like min cash, but can't really you stop losing flips or losing 70-30s, things like that. So you know what I will say though, like I take those hits on the chin and I'm coming
Yeah,
back. I'm just coming back harder next time because you don't get a whole wall of trophies like this one behind me by quitting. All right.
by quitting.
That's right.
Exactly. Good way to just bring the trophies into it.
Oh man.
There you go.
Whatever I can do to save myself here, I'm in shambles.
Yeah. Do you know before we get into some hands, do you know what the next live tournament is you're going to be able to play?
So it will be a Minnesota tournament, which a lot of our listeners aren't too familiar with. But I know that there's the Canterbury 500 deep stack, which is awesome. These things typically get like 35,000 up top. I guess 25 to 35 might be a little bit
Yeah.
on the lower end, but with the Vegas and summer going on, things just here are a little bit slower during this time of year.
Of course. Yeah, I remember looking at that. Like I won't be playing that because I'll still be out here, but
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
cool.
looking forward to grinding that. I'm actually like on a complete break right now since that series ended. So just building up that hunger that I always come back refreshed and ready to play. So taking a nice little break. And then there's one at Running Aces too, our other local card room. Um, I actually haven't even looked into what that is yet, but it's one of their signature series events.
Yeah.
Probably like a
Nice.
360 or a 500 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they tend to end up in one of those buckets, but kind of all, same like lowish mid stakes type
Can you
stuff.
tell in my voice that I've been sick? Do I sound a little bit different or no?
Not really, no.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
think I
might.
think maybe because I know you were, but I definitely wouldn't be able to tell.
I might. I apologize to listeners if you hear me, hacking up loogies and
Yeah.
all that other
No,
stuff.
I think you're good.
All right. All right.
Should we talk about the poker
Ye-
week of poker for me slash few days of poker for you?
Yeah, and it was fun. So I played the Millie Maker, and I also played the Salute to Warriors. Those are the two events I got to play while I was there for the 3 days I was there. I just want to start off this with a little rant, and I say this every single year, Wes. If
Hmm.
you are a sick, if you are sick and you decide to still play and register after knowing you're sick, you are a piece of shit. I just want to say that. Like, this goes out to everybody. Fight me, seriously. Like, I'm so tired of this every single year. Remember, I told a story on the podcast last year where this guy blasted off his stack because the guy next to him was sick. And then he stood up and was like, the only reason I went all in is because you're a sick piece of shit. Stay home. And just started cussing
Yeah.
out this dude. And I was like, yeah, like that guy, yeah, screw that guy. Good for you. Well, this year, I busted my first bullet in the Millie Maker, got reseated into a new table, and I sit down, and the guy next
Mm.
to me, the guy directly next to me, the first thing that happens is his girlfriend comes up to him, like puts her hand on his forehead to feel how warm he is, and then starts feeding him 3 to 4 different pills. And he's just like, and I'm like, dear Lord, please, I do not want to get sick. Just get me away from. I hope this guy busts immediately. Um, and yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that's where I got sick from. Obviously, it could be from many places in Vegas, but I sat next to him for a while, ended up getting deathly sick. Shout out to Dan Sindelar. He's a main event final tableist. Also won the Fall Poker Classic main event like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
But he busted this guy out, and I was like, Dan, thank you, sir.
thank God.
Thank you
I
for doing that.
forgot you told me about that because yeah, then a couple days later you get hit with it
Oh,
yourself.
and I got hit hard, man. Like I was bedridden bad. Like didn't leave my bed for 2 days, couldn't eat. Like it was gross. And then you know what makes it just even worse though? Like selfishness aside, is like now my wife is sick a week later. My baby's got a
Mhm.
little cough. I got a 4-month-old home. So not only did this guy's selfishness get me sick, but even more importantly, like now my wife is sick and my child is sick. So it's like, and I isolated from them. I tried to stay away from them as long as possible. So it's just created this big mess. Sorry for the long rant, everybody, but if you're sick, go home. Like, there's so many more poker tournaments. Don't play, seriously, because you're just ruining other people's times.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I took 4 whole days off earlier this series because I was just
And I commend you for just doing that. Like, yeah,
yeah, it was not fun, but gotta
yeah,
do what you gotta do.
yeah.
I get it, like, look, if you find yourself getting sick and you're on day 2 or day 3, like, I get you're not just gonna pull yourself out of the
Right. And
tournament, but
this is
show up with, like, a honestly, I know, the whole mask thing, it feels like a thing of the past, but if you really are sick and you got a day 2, like, that might be a smart move.
just, I mean, not forget saving yourself, but for if you're coughing and stuff to hold your coughing,
Yeah,
right? I mean, things like
yeah.
that. And this is obviously early in day one, and this dude's just sick as hell. And I'm like, bro,
Mhm.
and he's not even trying to hide it. Like I said, like he's popping pills at the table. He's like, he's literally said to the table, he's like, once these pills kick in 30 minutes, I'm gonna get a new gear, and you guys are done for. And I'm like,
I'm sure. He
yeah.
probably won the tournament,
No,
honestly.
he busted 15 minutes later. Remember?
Good, good.
Yeah. Thank you. Pretty happy on that. He left so miserable and I felt so good. I feel bad for I'm sorry. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, anyways, it was a lot of fun nonetheless. I had a good time. Wes and I got to play some cash together.
We did. Should we just let's talk quick about that.
Okay. It was thankfully cash was good for me this week. I mean, I covered all my buy-ins with cash.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
set
before I even joined, you played a session of 1-3 where you won close to 3 grand. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I started with 300 and I texted the group chat. I was like, before I leave today, I'm spinning this 10x up to 3 grand. And within 2.5 hours, I had it at 2,800 and cashed out. So
I mean, that's by far a bigger win than I've had at 1-3 like
it was
ever,
insane. It was sick.
you
Yeah,
know.
it was awesome. So I cashed out, went and sweated you in the millie for a while. Then you ended up getting taken to a spot where I couldn't sweat, which was kind of frustrating. So I went around, got me some Gordon burger. You know how I talk about in the podcast how I love trying different foods. If you guys want just a delicious burger, you got to go to Gordon Burger at Planet Hollywood. I love it. I'm sure there's better burger places, but if you're looking for something close and convenient to the World Series, that's my personal favorite. I mean, the burgers are expensive, but they are bomb.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
check
Yeah,
that
those are
out.
very good.
So I went and enjoyed that, and then you busted. I went back and sat at 2.5 or 3.5, 3.5, I think. Right?
3-5, yep.
Yeah, and I was like, Wes, I got a spot for you. And then but there's like 6 people in front of you on the line. Remember that? And you're
Yeah, it
like,
was so weird that there was a seat just open.
you're such a nit though, because they weren't filling the spot. And I told the deal, I was like, listen, my guy will come and sit down. Now, the seat had been open for 25 minutes and there were 6 people on the line. They were just shit in the bed there. I was like,
Mhm.
I got a guy who will come and sit down right now. And why would I even want you at my table? You're just way better than me at cash games. But I wanted to play with my friend. So I was like, please, please,
Oh,
please. And then Wes just wouldn't take the seat. He was too scared, even though the dealer said he could. However, about 20 minutes later, another spot opened up and there were still people on the line. So I gave the dealer a $20 tip and I said, lock this spot up for him. And then he did. So
you did. Yeah. Yeah, it was weird because, anyways, yeah, I'm like, do I listen to the not the floor person, but the person at the desk? It's like, I'm like, I assume they're going to fill the seat
they
because there are
weren't
6
filling it though.
people. Yeah,
They were shit in the bed. So
yeah, super weird. But anyways, I played one hand and then the guy on Max's left leaves. So I'm like, give me that seat.
yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, so of course you sit down in my direct left and just made my life a nightmare from there. I did get you for a $400 pot pretty quickly where I turned quads versus your top pair. And I think you made a good river fold if I remember correctly.
I did, yeah. It was I remember you opened, I three bet. Guy on my left cold called, you called. It was ace 7-3, two hearts. Check, I C bet. Guy folded, you called. Turn another three. So ace 7-3-3, but no flush came in yet. So I think my ace queen of clubs. I have ace queen of clubs. I think it's just golden. You check. I think the pot was almost 300 at this point. I bet 150. You made it 325. I'm like, how on earth? I don't know. I called. The river was
let's
the
talk
four of
about let's
hearts.
talk about
Yeah.
yeah, I know the river was stupid because like I know you don't have a flush and it kills my action, but let's talk about the turn on why I raised there. And I think my thought in the moment was just because I think I had like probably like 2,500 in front of me, I think. Like I had ran it
I
up
had
and you were
yeah.
up you
I
had
had
900 or something.
I bought in 900. I think I had a little over a grand. I'd won a couple of pots. Like I had maybe we'll call it 1050 or something.
But just to kind of get to the point, I ended up raising this turn with quads just to try and build the pot, just to try and make sure I could get it all in by the river.
Yeah,
As
easy
simple as
jam
that.
on
Yeah.
river. And like there are some players when they do that on this sort of board, I'm already just like alarm bells. And they're kind of going off anyways. But
Right,
with
but
you,
it's
it's like
me. Yeah.
you and I, the way we play against each other is just like insane.
It's not soft play. That's for damn
No,
sure.
it's not. It's the opposite. And then, so I guess luckily for me, the river was a heart and you jammed. And I'm like, okay, I guess I just full, like,
Yeah,
you
well,
could be
you
just
beat
suicide
literally.
bluffing here.
Yeah, I mean that's
But
all you beat is a suicide bluff at that point. So,
yeah. And you were kind enough to show quads.
yeah.
And then the other
But
big
then
hands,
I gave you that and twice. I gave you twice that back though.
yeah, there was a hand. So you opened, I three bet ace king, you four bet.
You know, hold on. Let's pause for a second. This just
Yeah,
pisses me off. You know why? I don't remember our positions. I want to say it was like maybe low jack, hijack,
yeah, yeah.
something like that. I want to say I threw out 15 bucks for a raise. And before my chips even hit the table, $60 was out behind me.
Yeah. No, I made sure every time I was going to three bet you, I did it very quickly.
It was, but I'm saying before I even put my 15 out,
It just feels like
your
I didn't
60.
even consider. It's like,
Yeah, it was a disrespectful raise, even if you had aces. It was just a fuck you raise. Excuse my
yeah,
language. Um,
yeah. It was with fuck you sort of
energy.
energy.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it was. It was. Yeah, so you got me with that. I just want to say, like,
yeah. Anyways, max four bet, I five bet rips.
I snapped.
Yeah,
I didn't even tank. I just snapped for a grand. I think it was or 700 or 800.
eight something. I
Yeah,
think. Yeah,
800. I just snapped for 800 with ace queen suited. And then I
yeah.
told him I had aces. You
Oh,
remember?
did you?
Yeah, I remember I was like, I have aces. And you're like, you do? And I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. You did say that.
And then
And then the
it was
flop came like ace with two low cards,
and I
and
was
you're
like, I
like,
got an ace. And I was like, I got an ace. And you're like, me too. And I'm like, all right, I'm dead. I knew it.
yeah. Turn was another low. River was a jack, and you were like, oh, I got it. But
Yeah.
that actually didn't make me that worried because I think if you actually hit the three outer, you would have reacted differently.
I
You
was
would
doing
have,
whatever I could to just get a little bit of shit, like just something out of you. Just
of course,
something.
yeah. It's the same concept as like if you bluff the river, you get called. That moment you confidently turn up your cards, you
Hmm.
at least want to get that split second of satisfaction where they think they lost.
I knew I was dust. So you had ace king suited, I think. I had ace queen
I think it was
suited.
off, but yeah,
Was it?
same thing.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So I gave you that back. And then that was like the only two significant pots we played. Um, yeah, I kind of went downhill after you came to my left. Not necessarily
Makes
because you. I
sense.
just lost. It wasn't because of you. Shut your mouth. All right.
Okay.
Shut your mouth.
No, 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 no.
In honor of the Conor McGregor fight coming up. Shut your mouth. That's a terrible impression.
No, it was great.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just
Mhm.
fishing there. Anyways, so that was fun. I ended up even on that game. So bought in for 1,000, cashed out for like 980 or something.
Yeah. So you made 2,500 in cash on the day still,
Yeah, yeah,
which
28,
covered
like
most.
2,800 or something. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. You were up 20. Yeah.
So
So
yeah,
anyways, that covered because you had 2 million buy-ins. So you had 3,500 in tournament buy-ins. So that covered almost all of it right
actually
there.
4K in
4K.
binds. Yeah, two milli makers and two salutes.
Okay. Two salutes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
anyways, overall, not a bad trip.
No,
Fun cast.
I do remember a hand. Actually, I'll just be brief. I don't remember the action too crazily, but or too well rather. But this girl just sits down. This I think I want to say she was Japanese. I believe she was Japanese. Um, and she just starts playing aggressively out of the gate, and she trapped the shit out of me with pocket kings on a king high flop where I want to say I defended 6-8 of clubs,
Okay.
and I turned a backdoor flush draw. Um, and I I three bet bluffed trying to get her to fold because she checked back the flop. So then I three bet jammed it. I
You
led.
bet the turn,
I
she
bet
raised
turn,
and
she
jammed.
raised, and I jammed exactly. And she snapped with top set. I was just out.
That
So
is probably a good idea.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't dead, just didn't hit it. Anyways, that was fun. She destroyed my soul, so that was cool. And that was
Shout
like
out to her.
yeah, that was my tournament. That was great. It's awesome. So
Yeah.
you actually had another day three in the Millie. Oh, a couple of shout outs before we talk about your Millie.
Yes.
I want to give a big shout out to our boy Josh Reichard. His first WSOP bracelet. Obviously, it was a long time coming. He's won, I mean, this dude's got a WPT title. He's got like 15 or more rings. He's got and he's
Two
MSP,
MSPTs?
two MSPTs, including a major MSPT. He won one of the majors
Yep.
that are new. He's an MSPT Hall of Famer. Now he's got a WSOP bracelet. Um,
Yeah. And he has tons of big scores. Like he got second in the mini main last year. He already had 2 third places this year
yeah,
in bracelet events. He
yeah.
got third in the Millie Maker last
I
year.
mean,
He had
just an absolute stud. So shout out to him for winning that for whatever it was, 500 something $1,000. I want to say.
yep.
I also want to give a shout out to the greatest Mizreg of our generation, Mr. Cooler Carney, for winning the Win 1600 mixed game championship for a cool like 55K or something like that.
Yeah. That was awesome. Congrats to Carney.
Mixed game championship too. I
Good
mean, that's gonna
friend.
feel good to win because it's like all the games, not all the games, but
Yeah.
I don't know if that's 8 or 9 game. I actually have no idea, but.
I have no idea.
You
You and
want
I are mixed game noobs. I
Yeah,
mean, we get to play with Carney in our home game, but you know,
yeah, and seeing
but
how
it's
he
good.
plays
It's
in
good.
the
Like
yeah, seeing how
we
he
get to
plays in
learn
that
from the
game.
mixed game champion.
I mean, he's not even good, so it's like that just makes me feel like I could win one of those really easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should. I mean, why aren't you firing them?
I'm going to. Honestly, I've had a little bit of an itch to get into the mixed game streets, just to mix things up. Get it?
Oh God.
Anyways,
And let's shout out Ian Matakis real quick.
big shout out to our boy Ian, another past guest friend.
Yep. He and former WSOP player of the year. He got 5th place in the 10K PLO for about 300, maybe 320K, something like that. And he's actually, as we speak, he's in the 100K PLO, which is pretty
What a stud,
pretty
dude.
rare that a Minnesota person fires 100K.
The only other person I know that's played 100K that I'm aware of is Blake Bond.
I think there's like Eric Worre and John Morgan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well.
Yeah. The billionaires. I don't know about Eric. I know his name, but I don't really know him.
Yeah, I think I've seen him play some stuff on Poker Go. That's high roller.
Okay. Yeah. What else? Oh yeah. By the way, I watched that stream where Ian busted. Well, they showed a recap of that, but the grinder had like 44 million, whereas two opponents they're three-handed. Grinder had like 45 million, and the other two had like 4.5 million. And it was the funniest shit. I've never seen this in my life, right? The grinder had, stacks of 20, like barrels of 20 of his like highest denomination chips. And then he just had a pool of all the lesser denomination chips on his left on the other side of the table. And every
Because
time you
It's just like, okay, you guys are already way covered by these chips. You don't need to count
Hey, I've
these.
never seen this in my life. And every time he'd win a pot, it would just build into a pool on his left side. He wouldn't even stack them anymore. So he just had this mountain of splashed chips on his left side, and
That's
then
really
and then enough
did,
chips over here to cover everybody else.
did he end up winning?
And then he ended up winning. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. I've been so out of the World Series this last week. I mean, it's been kind of nice in a way. It's not that I even felt that burnt out or anything, but it's nice that be, the fact that I was home, given that, it's nice that I was able to just separate from it, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Actually, there's one last shout out I want to give to. His name is Roger. I saw him, I think it was during the Millie break or something like that. But I was sitting there eating a salad or something on break, kind of off in a corner by myself. And he walks by and he kind of glances at me and then he keeps moving. And then he stops and he looks back and he sees my suited King's hood and he walks up to me and goes, "Hey, I listen to those guys." And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, that's a great podcast. And I kind of just didn't really say that I was Max of it, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's a great podcast. And then he's like, yeah, it really is. And then he kind of like turned around and then he looked back at me kind of inquisitively, right? And he's like,
He
are,
recognized your voice,
well, and he's
maybe.
like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100%. He's like, are, are you? And I'm like, yeah, I'm Max. And he's like, oh, so nice to meet you. So shout out to you, Roger. It was cool to meet you. I love
Yeah.
those interactions. It's just cool, you know, when people I've never met and say they enjoy
Oh,
our content. So,
yeah. You know, and we both met a guy. I met him the day before, but then he came up to both of us too. Derek. He was,
oh
I think
yeah,
he was dealing.
yeah. Shout out to
Yeah,
Derek
or
too.
he
Yeah,
was
we
dealing.
talked to him on break, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We also ran into the poker guy. What's his name?
Grant Dennison.
Grant
Yeah.
Dennison from the poker
Yeah.
guys, or
Yeah.
two poker guys,
I
whatever.
ran into him at Aria as well. So
Mm.
yeah. And I mean, man, you know, we'll run into listeners from time to time too. So I don't remember
Yeah.
everyone, but shout out to all you guys who have come up and, you know, said hi in the
Yeah.
hallway on break, whatever. It's always nice to meet you guys, hear where you're from and whatnot.
So it's been kind of a catch up episode so far. Let's talk a couple hands before we wrap this one up, and then hopefully we'll have. I want to discuss more deep runs next week after now that you're back in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll just still be in the main event and we'll have to put that one off till I final table.
You're gonna sell me a little piece, right?
Yeah. We already agreed on
Oh,
that.
did we? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
All
I tripled the markup. No, I'm kidding.
I'll take it.
So, okay, yeah. So the Millie Maker, quick recap. I max late reg day 1A. Day 1A. Yep. This was soon after my Colossus run. So I fired day 1A. I actually, within 5 hands, I had over 3 starting stacks. Kind of lost one at the end of the day. Made day 2. Want to flip on day 2. Got close to the bubble. It was 275 left, 263 cash. I actually busted with aces, which was not that lovely. We won't even. It was kind of just a standard hand. But then later that day, I late regged into day 1B. I did not advance. I then fired 2 bullets of day 1C unsuccessfully. And then with Max, I played day 1D. And this one went much better. We will review 2 hands from day 1D and then talk day 2.
That sounds good. By the way, like I just love hour-long levels.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
It's so much easier to just like the patience really pays off more.
Yeah.
And
it really does. There's no doubt.
Yeah. Especially when you have a table that isn't like full of crushers, you know, you find spots a lot.
But
easier.
I told you I sat down, some guy sat down to my left and I kind of looked at his like stats or whatever. And he got second in did I say it was a 250K or something for like 5 million?
For like 5 million.
Like, so I got super high rollers on my direct left. He was a cool dude. I forget his name, but he was not someone that was super notable.
Yeah, I did have on this day 1, I did have the guy who got 6th placed in the main in 21, the year Altamir won.
Who was that?
I don't remember his name, but I just remember seeing that. But for the most part, it was rec players. And okay, so we'll get started. I think I told you this hand when we were on dinner break, but at this point, the blinds were 4 800. We were in the low jack with 6 5 of spades, and we had plenty. We had maybe um, close to 80K, so about 100 bigs. And no, we had over 80, but we covered a decent amount of people. So we opened to 1800 with 6 5 of spades. The hijack, button, and big blind all come along. So the pot is 8,400.
So there's two people in position behind you. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And the flop comes 8 4 deuce with 1 spade and 2 diamonds.
So wait, you got a double gutter?
Double gutter, and we got the backdoor spades.
Okay. Okay. Nice flop. 8 4 deuce, 1 spade, and your 4 ways. There's 80 what in the pot?
8,400 and
Okay.
big blind checks. Do we want to bet? Do we want to check? What do you think?
Honestly, like I'm just gonna tell you my first instinct as per usual, but I like checking here.
Yeah.
I just don't want to. I don't want to get check raised with this hand here and start playing a
Yeah, we
bloated
don't
pot.
want and I'll give more context to big blind has about 27K.
Okay.
So if you were to check raise, we could get jammed it on the turn potentially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Both of the other stacks were in between us, somewhere in the 40 to 50K range.
I think this is counterintuitive. I think a lot of people want to see bet here, right? It's just because like we have six. I mean, we have 6 high, right?
6 high.
Yeah, we have 6 high. But the thing that I think that makes me want to check the most is we're 4-handed here. Like our bet's just not really going to get through much. If this was heads up against the big blind, I'd be more incentivized to see bet this hand.
I agree with that. I checked, and yeah, it's because like when we put out a C bet, I think we would need to go big here almost.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like we want to fold out the, if someone has pocket sevens, we want to kind of put pressure on
and
that.
It's funny though. Another thing that I say is because of the intuitiveness. It's like people want to try and get this in. I notice, like amateurs specifically, and it's like, guys, no, we don't. Like it's. I
like
know
if it's 2 spades, sure.
Yeah, if there's another, exactly. That's I mean, that's the world, right? But
yeah,
I'm just saying, like truthfully, like you trying to get all your chips in the middle with 8 outs is not beneficial for you. So just relax a little bit. Let's try and realize some equity multi-way here, and then we can start putting chips in the pot.
Yeah, we can check call if someone bets. We could even check raise if we get a feeling that they're taking a weak
there's
stab.
a lot of, and that's the thing. This has a lot of playability at this point, but like you don't have to feel bad. Like, you don't have to feel bad folding this hand on the river if you don't get there, But it sucks if all of a sudden you don't get there and all your chips are in the middle.
Correct. That's a big difference. Anyway, so it checks around, which is kind of nice. And what's way nicer is the turn is the 3 of spades, giving us the absolute nuts.
It's funny because it's like the 3 of spades is awesome because it gives, I mean, here's the thing. When you turn the nuts, you almost don't want the flush draw with it. You'd rather just be a rainbow.
Right, because especially when someone else, like if someone else has spades, it's going to be bigger than ours, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, not that it really matters. It's still the gin turn.
We're pretty thrilled with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So the big blind leads for 2,500.
And you're extremely under repped at this point. Like you just look like you just have Broadway cards, unpaired Broadway cards so often.
Of course, yeah. Which I think plays into this hand quite a bit. So the big blind bets 2,500 into 8,400. What's your thought here? Do we call or raise?
We definitely call and try and get these 2 people behind us in the pot.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought too. Plus the big blind isn't super, like if both of those players were shallow and big blind was deep, maybe we raise, but
I think that if we're not really scared of any cards, right? So let's invite others.
Right. And even like there's a good chance someone would have bet if they had diamonds too. We're.
Oh wait, did it bring it? Wait, was there diamonds?
Two diamonds on. So 2 flush draws.
Okay, 2 flush draws. Okay, got it.
So, anyways, I did call. Both the players behind folded. So 13.4.
If this was like 5 6 of hearts, I would then probably consider raising here.
Yeah, we unblocked some more of the draws, and we're a little less comfortable. Yeah, I could see that for sure. So 13.4, and the river is just beautiful. Jack of Hearts. Like we
Yeah.
still have the Stone Cold
Stones.
nuts.
Yeah.
There are a lot of river cards that make it so we don't have the nuts, but we
I
still
was
do
daydreaming of the nuts. That sounded so bad.
it.
Did anybody
Daydreaming
behind?
of the nuts. That's we're coming back to that
I'm
one
not
at
even
some
gonna
point.
edit. I'm not even gonna edit that
No,
out.
you
Okay.
can't.
Who did you say someone behind you called or no?
No, so we're just heads up. And
Okay.
the pot's 13.4, and the big blind has something like 25K behind.
Okay.
And he decides to check.
All right. Now, just to help him, because my brain is a little slow, especially after I've been sick and not in the game. Say how much is in the pot and how much they have behind again.
Pot is 13.4K, and he has roughly 25K.
And the full board is 8, 4, 3 deuce jack, 2
Yep.
diamonds, 2 spades, and a heart.
Yep.
All
So
in.
he checks.
All in.
Yep. Yeah. So
You know why?
my what's
Because
that?
all the draws missed. So
Yeah.
your
No,
hand looks bluffy.
Exactly. And my thought was initially I was like, oh, do I go 9K? Like, could I get paid 9K here? Do I want to go smaller to try and then I'm like, wait, I think that we have the nuts first off.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have the nuts on the river, you should always at least consider, can I just go all in here? And then I'm like, okay, yeah, if I just had a bluff, like for one thing, it looks bluffy.
Like,
That. Also, what value hands am I gonna I would
you
never
just
take one I would never take 10-8 suited and jam here,
no,
you
but you
know?
know what hand you would probably jam here with? Like King Jack suited. King Jack of spades.
Top pair,
Oh wait, sorry, King 10 of spades. Excuse me.
king 10 of
Yeah,
spades.
yeah, yeah.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks like he has one pair and it's just sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
a fuck you, you can't call this.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just took a stack of red chips and put them in the middle, and he snap calls. And he was not trapping. He had 7-4 offsuit, so he had third pair.
Okay, so wait, he had a gutter at some point, didn't he?
No, he just had second pair and then third pair by the river.
What the hell?
So he absolutely didn't believe.
What the hell?
Yeah.
I mean, but this is why we jammed. That's what I'm saying, though, right? It's like that both flush draws missed. He blocks one of the straight draws, right? No, he had 7.
Sort of 7-6 suit, but not he didn't really like the 7 was not
Anyways, this
super.
is why I was thinking jam would be the best plays because when you see and this is something I kind of want to be afraid of, or not be afraid of, but I want our listeners to be aware of when making big bluffs on the river against opponents who think specifically, right? Is if it's a very wet board where the river card comes out a complete blank and you do have a bluff here and you do make you double 2x pot jam stuff like that, just think about that for a second if they're a thinking player because they will realize a lot of times that you're trying to push them off their equity because they'll realize the draw is missed, essentially is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Long-winded answer.
Yeah. And I don't know, like I paused for a long time because I genuinely was thinking, along with wanting to make it look like I was thinking.
See, that's
I
important
also
as well.
was just thinking.
Yeah. Well, what you want, I mean, how do I extract the most value was your question.
Yep. Yeah. And so
you you want a massive pot. What's any reaction from him?
He
It's one of my favorite
just
things.
walked away. I don't know. Not really. He just left. Like I tried to high five him. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh! Of course, my headset literally shut off right as you said that. What was that?
I initially said he just walked away, but then I said, "Oh, I tried to high five him."
Oh man, what a good time for my headset to just I just bought some new AirPods. I should start using those when we record. But anyways. Yeah, okay, nice hand. I like it. And I like the river jam as well. I mean, if you played that any other way, you're not getting his entire stack. So
yeah, I'm sure not.
More than likely. Yeah. I think that's awesome. Okay. So that's a nice hand. What else you got for me?
So we had This one wasn't a full, like, it's mainly pre-flop, and then I'll explain what happened the rest of the hand. But a good player in the low jack opens to 3,500 at 1,500. And the button called, who was a rec player who I had not only three bet him, but I had three bet went after he had flatted a few
Mhm.
times and he had kind of just been folding.
Yeah,
And I was in
some
the big blind
squeezing.
with Jack nine of diamonds. And I think this is actually a perfect hand against the low jack range, where the bottom of that opening range is like Jack 10 off, Queen 10 off, King 10 off. It's like having a suited nine, like a Queen 9 suited, Jack 9 suited, I think is perfect to three bet bluff against that.
That's awesome. I will say that like that feels it makes complete sense as you described it because you're going to be dominated by a lot of the hands they're opening. But it feels like it has such interconnectability and playability that that I would just end up defending it a lot of the time instead of three betting it.
Yeah, and I would defend it a decent amount too. And that was my initial thought, but then I was like, hang on, like I've learned about this. This is a good three bet hand because he has a lot of auto folds that we're losing to, but also if we get called by one of them, this hand has plenty of playability. Like we were deep enough where the playability thing mattered too.
Hmm.
So I made it 15.5K. Um anyways, that was just a quick
That's
the low
spicy.
jack, yeah, low jack folded, and actually the button flicked in the call, and we had him covered, but he still had like 75K behind.
Okay.
But we'll just quick. This part's easy. Flop was queen 6-4, two diamonds, so we had a flush draw. We bet 9K into 37.
Yep.
He
Small.
calls.
Yeah.
Turn king of diamonds, so we just get there. We bet 18, so about a third, and he tank folded. But
Okay.
so it sometimes feels unfair because I was ready to see like an offsuit king or a 10, and I'm just ready to bluff.
Blast. Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's nice
oh,
when you
it's
don't have
almost
to though.
boring.
It's yeah.
We just
Well,
made a flush.
it's timing's important too. It's when you like make these three bet pots and you just turn gin again, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's if that's those timing like that, and that's kind of not even really necessarily a skill thing. I guess it is in a sense because you found the three bet with the Jack nine of diamonds with a logical reasoning. So there's the skill part of it, but then combining that with the timing of just fucking turning,
Bang.
yeah,
Yeah.
just bang. That's dangerous. So I like it.
Thank you. A couple more quick ones from day one. So same player, the low jack guy, the strong player, probably the next orbit. He opens to 3K and it folds us in the big blind. We defend Jack 5 of spades. So the pot is 8,500 and the flop is Jack 10 8, two clubs, one heart. It goes check check.
Okay, so you had top pair.
Yeah. So what when he checks back the Jack 10 8, what do you think his range is there? Because I would think
Under
a lot of
pair,
stuff that's
under pairs, yeah, because any of his broadways that have any sort of straight draws typically see bet here. So any of his ace kings, ace queens, any of his pairs that are, any of his broadways that hit a pair see bet. Sometimes you'll have like ace 10, um,
yeah.
and just try and pot
I'm
control
glad
with
you
those
say
two.
that. Do you think something like 9 8 suited or 10 9 suited where
What was the
it's like
dangler?
it was Jack 10 8. So a nine is an open if he has like a weak
Yeah,
pair with a
yeah,
nine.
yeah, and I think for the same reason with our 6-5 of spades hand, like we're just trying to not get check raised. So yeah, I mean he definitely has. I'm thinking it's either under pairs to the three cards or a pair and some equity draw. So that's just trying to pot control. It's, in my opinion, never a trap.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. That I like to hear that. And you think King Queen is betting all the time
For
here.
sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
That's
I am definitely. I mean, here's the thing. Unlike the 6-5 thing, like when we have King Queen here, we just have so much more equity because we have two overs with the straight draw to the nuts. You know, what I mean, it's just like we have so much equity compared to the other hand, especially in a multi-way versus heads up situation.
mhm. um all right. And so I'm glad to hear that might come into play here. Turn is 6 of hearts, so it's Jack 10 8 6 with two clubs and now two hearts. But
Yeah.
we think we almost always have the best hand here, right?
So we think we have the best hand, but it's going to be really hard to get any folds on this board. I mean, this is what we call a dynamic board, right? There's so many combinations of hands that are wanting to continue on this turn.
Yeah. So like, do we want to go for value here?
What's your stack? What's his stack?
We have like close to 200K and he has maybe 60 or 70,
And how much is in the pot?
8,500.
Yeah. So again, going with gut thought here, or like my initial thought, I would probably bet somewhere from like 75 to pot and then check back a lot of just deadly turns. Or check a
Rivers.
lot,
Yeah.
excuse me, yeah, check a lot of, not check back either. I'm just an idiot, but I would end up just check. I mean, if like
Yeah.
I'm checking most rivers essentially.
Yeah. I'm in agreement with that.
And it
So I
sucks
went to,
because like if it's a complete brick or a banana on the river, then we have to consider check calling as well.
mhm. So I go for 6,500 into 8,500.
Okay, we're on point.
Yeah, perfect. And he calls. So pot is now 21.5. And the river is it's a seven of diamonds, so no flush comes in, but now any nine makes a straight. So the open ender gets there.
Yeah, and we discussed that like, he could definitely have something like this in his range. Not a card I even really love wanting to pay on this river. I mean, our
Yeah.
hand is if we check and he bets, it's a pure bluff catcher.
Very much so. And so that's what happened. I checked and he bet 16K,
Okay, and sorry, what was the total pot again? Help me out.
21.5. So he
Okay,
went
so
three
it's rather
quarters.
large.
Yeah.
Golly, I'm probably just mucking this shit.
Yeah. I ended up doing that. I took kind of a long time because it was the sort of thing where I'm like, okay,
He doesn't
he
have
could have just checked
Broadways.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have checked back ace X of hearts on the flop just to give up. And then, but I did kind of think there was some 9X in there. Also, like you said, he could just have pocket sixes too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
And what it came down to, because I'm also like, there's not a ton of combos of nines. Even if we think he can have 10-9 suited, 9-8 suited, that's only three each. But it came down to the fact that I really did think he would C bet with king, queen, ace, queen, that kind of stuff.
There's some possibilities too that he what position was he? You said low jack?
Low jack.
I mean, I would say if I'm just trying to think of what bluffs he could have here. I'm essentially removing all broadways that had straight draws on the, so I'm gonna get rid of all those. But
That's what I
but
said.
so if we're thinking of like kind of natural, air quote
Yes.
bluffs, I'm thinking like pairs that turn into a bluff. So like ace 10 or ace 8, maybe something like that.
Maybe the eight, yeah. Or maybe like,
Ace 10 might have too much showdown value because you can have the 8, but yeah, something like ace 8, maybe something like maybe like king 8 suited, something like that.
yeah. I would say the ace X, like ace four of hearts or something that
Yeah,
I think there are a few hands that just pure give up the flop.
yeah,
And then he turns the heart draw. So like those could be in there. And I think the big point to make is if we think he could play king queen this way or ace queen, we just have to call.
yeah.
But I think
I
we
felt
both
he removed that. Yeah, like I completely
yes,
removed those.
I did. And he was also like, European guy, like clearly a good player, maybe
Yeah,
in his 30s.
yeah. That makes him even more or less likely to check those type of hands
Yeah.
on the flop.
So
I think it's a good fold. I mean, again, and another thing that I want to stress to listeners is like it's okay to be bluff sometimes if it's logical thinking behind your play. You know what I mean?
right, like we can find some better spots to bluff catch. Like just because we have a bluff catcher,
Yeah.
like unless he way over bluffs, we
Say the
can
river was
still
like
just
a two
fold
of
sometimes.
diamonds. I'm just gonna check call the rivers. But what?
Yeah, or even like value bet target at 10,
Yeah, I mean, or like so you could have ace 10. Yeah,
because again, we could have had the misdraw then
I'd
too.
probably still just maybe not. Maybe I would see bet. I don't know. That would be something I'd have to really feel in the moment, make my decision on.
Yeah, that's an interesting one because it's like when all the draws miss, even if we have a top pair no kicker, if we think most of his range is second or third pair, maybe
Or if we
we
think that he just, oh yeah, because I mean, we don't think he has a lot of the draws because again, he would have c bet those, so we don't want to, yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting hand. Yeah.
mhm. All right. And then the last one from day one. This was we were last few hands of the night. Big blind still 1,500. We have king eight of spades in The low jack, we opened a 3K.
Suited king, baby.
Suited king, baby. Button calls. He's a rec player. Others fold. So there's 10K in the pot. And we get just the beautiful
A7 deuce, three spades.
No, what shit. I'm trying to remember the order. I remember all the cards that came out, but I'm trying to remember the order now. It was 10, 9, 3, 2 diamonds, 1 club.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Flop.
Okay,
Terrible
okay,
flop.
yeah. Got it.
And we check. I think we just want to give this one up for now. But then he checks back.
Okay.
So, the turn is the 10 of diamonds. So it's the third diamond and it pairs the top card. So 10, 9, 3, 10, 3 diamonds.
Is he he's the button you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a passive rec player.
Oh, okay. So the board pairs the top card with 3 diamonds?
Yep.
Okay.
So I mean we have a weak king. We gotta try and fold some ace high. We gotta fold some stuff out here now, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Right. I mean, come on. We can't let him take pocket fives, no diamond. And
sometimes you know what, Wes, you said it best yourself. I'm just not a life. I'm just a nit. Sometimes I'm just like, sometimes I'll just straight up give up.
And that, sometimes we want to. And that, honestly, it could be the case where I could see this being a hand we just want to give up. But
sometimes you have the best hand with king high here.
Yeah, but he's gonna just bluff and we'll lose anyways.
Yeah,
I would think.
You do kind of screw yourself a lot here when you start trying to bluff catch with this hand on these boards.
Oh yeah. If we check and he bets, we're just
folding. Yeah,
snap muck.
That's what I mean. Give up. That's why I said give up. But anyways, yes.
Yeah, I would not hate giving up, honestly. But
I want to fold out better kings, like king jack. I guess king jack's probably not folded. Maybe
king jack without a diamond. I think would just fold.
Yeah, and then any ace x that's unpaired.
Yep, any
with
ace
no
X,
diamond.
Yeah, and even the stuff like if he has,
Okay, well, let's talk about sizings.
Spades. Yeah, so here I'm gonna kind of be representing that I have a good value hand.
Okay,
and I want to charge if he has sevens with a diamond, I think something like a under pair without a diamond might fold, and then under pair with a diamond probably calls.
Okay. So let me ask you, is there again, going back to first thoughts for the third time, if we're just trying to get him to fold his nothings that beat us, don't we just have to go small here?
Maybe. I went 7K into 10K.
Because once we go bigger here, we're actually trying to get him to fold a hand, not just a nothing.
For sure. I guess I'm trying to get him to fold anything up to pocket 8s or 7s with no diamond.
Okay.
So the weaker made hands.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I would also say king queen or king jack without a diamond. The stuff that barely beats me. I want to give him the wrong price where if I bet 3K here, I might kind of screw myself a bit.
Yeah, and that does happen. I mean, if he's a passive rec, I'm not too worried. If he's a sticky rec, I like your sizing more. But
yeah.
Anyway, I don't think. I mean, I might be wrong here, so whatever. I'm not very.
I might be too. This is one I could certainly take a look at. Anyways, we get called, and this sucks because it's one thing to bluff and get called, and then have some outs.
What's the full board?
10, 9, 3, 10 with 3 diamonds.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm I don't even know what I'm rooting for on the river. I guess a king.
But. Yeah. I mean, right. You don't love life. This is why, and this is kind of my bouncing back to my thought on just give ups. It's when we get called here, it's just you ready to just blast out or what?
And also we had 5 hands left of day one where it's let's just take a nice stack into day two.
And it's important to note that doesn't mean you're in the money when you bag. So
correct.
There's no ICM here.
Yeah. Anyways, so pot is 24K and the river is the queen of clubs. Okay. So 10, 9, 3, 10, 3 diamonds. And then
this is actually kind of to me, this seems like a good card for us to actually kind of barrel though.
I agree. So because now I have there are a lot of very clear hands that can fold. I'd say all those under pairs with a diamond that called on
Hmm.
turn, those will fold this river. If he has a nine, a lot of that like a 9x is going to fold because now our king queen, queen jack, king jack, a lot of stuff gets there, and we
Yeah.
could have already been good.
Yeah.
So I think, and then ace jack with a diamond, there's going to be a decent amount of those. Um,
A lot of the hands that we kind of we kind of knew were going to call us, that are, I guess, kind of drawing hands or small paired hands are now going to fold where they wouldn't the turn.
yeah. So I sort of hate it, but I pick up 16K and toss it in the middle.
Yeah.
We get snap called by 7-6 of diamonds, and
Uh,
yeah, he just had a flush.
Solid.
Yeah.
Good by him. I like his check back on the flop. He's check back flop, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think obviously, I think betting is good too, but
Well, for
it's
him, it's like
certain.
a two-way street no matter what. So like if he realizes equity and then or he can delay bluff if you check to him again on the turn.
Yeah. I can tell you, I for sure fucking hated it in the moment because cost me 23K.
Yeah. And you know what? Tap myself on the back because, like, this to me, my initial thought was this is just a give up hand. I don't want to put
Yeah.
anything in here.
Yeah. There was about half of me that felt that way too. Um, So yeah, that one sucked. I still ended up bagging 130K, and we were coming back to 2K big blind. So I had plenty of chips
Yeah,
going into
that's
day
nice.
two.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think? Do we have time for a couple more hands? We could save them for later.
Yeah, let's save him for the next time. I know we're at about an hour here. I got to get back to changing diapers per usual.
Yeah,
Actually,
I gotta get in the mix. I gotta go rent another car
you
today
got to go
and
get
get
your
down there.
diaper changed. Yeah, you got to go get into the mix. So let's just go ahead and wrap it up here. I have to put this kid down for a nap. So, um,
Yeah.
tell me your plan for this for today for the rest of the week, and we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, first I'll mention in the Millie Maker, I did end up having a pretty good day two. I made it all the way to day three.
Yep.
So the bubble burst 4 levels into day two roughly. So I made it pretty deep. Day three, I couldn't get much going. Only won a couple hands. I got I think 304th out of between 11 and 12K. So it was
It's
a
a great
good
run.
run.
Yeah. I mean, you've
And
been
I
stacking runs
cashed,
this trip or this
yeah, and
series.
I cashed for 7,700, which I was in for 5 bullets. I was in for 7,500. So hey, we we got that all back. Big $200 profit on the
I
Millie
mean,
Maker.
a bit a $200. I mean, I want to think of it as like like a $6,700 profit or $6,800 profit because like we just imagine that those other buy-ins didn't. Or sorry, 5,800,
62. Yeah.
62
No, no, no,
math. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
absolutely right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was a very good run. Um, and I was happy with it. It's like, yeah, we're not thinking about the other bullets we fired, but yeah, I was happy with it. I obviously would have loved to continue to go deeper, but that was the first time in the Monster or Millie where I made it day three. So that was really fun.
Yeah,
Um,
congrats on
I,
that. Day threes are sweet, man. Like making a day three feels good.
it really does. It really
It's
does.
been a minute for
And
me. It
well,
hurts. It hurts.
if you'd been out here all summer, you would have a couple under your belt.
Yeah, I would like to think so at least. My
Mhm.
heart's broken. No main event for me. My wife's back at work, so I'm on full daddy daycare now. But
There
that's
we go.
okay. This is just, this is obviously more important in the moment. I'm having a blast. He's growing up. We're getting schedules down, so like, it's not nearly as crazy as it's been, over the first 4 or 5 months here. So things are good on this end. And I'm looking forward to getting back into the mix next year, playing the main and all that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, looking forward to it on your behalf as well.
Today you got the
Um,
$600.
yep. So I don't know if it's called the Poker News Deep Stack anymore, but yeah, it's $600 tournament with a great structure. On day 2 through 4, it's hour levels. So I'll play that. If I do not make it through, I will probably play the $800 summer celebration. And
I ran
day two of
relatively
that,
deep in that poker news one last year.
you did. Was that 2 years ago? I feel like it was 2 years ago.
Dude, it all blends together at this point. I don't even know. It was whenever it was, but yeah, I ran deep. It was nice.
Yeah, that's a fun tournament. So I'll play that. I might play the 800 Summer Celebration, and then, or maybe one other thing. We'll see. But really, it's the main event that's coming up. That's obviously number one. And there's a lot of stuff I may or likely will play after I bust the main, but that kind of all depends on when that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is
Hell
that's
yeah,
the
man.
plan.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out. When does the main start?
Tomorrow is day 1A.
Is it? So we might not
So
have an
as
episode until
I
it's
think
going.
as yeah, I think as you guys well, this will release on the 2nd. So it starts on July 2nd.
Okay, it's already July 2nd tomorrow. Holy crap. Okay, well, massive shout out to all of you. I want to send you guys all the good vibes, all the good luck for that are playing them for you those of you that are playing the main event. My goodness. But yeah, like that's exciting. It's right around the corner and I'm excited to sweat it. So, give me something good to sweat.
I will. I'm not a big feel it coming person. I could just launch it off on day one. You never know. But I sort of feel like a run coming this year in the main event.
I mean,
Or at least if not, I'll make another run in one of these
if
things.
being due was a real thing in the main event, I guess you're somewhat there. So
Yeah. Or I could just catch up to you and be 0 for 5.
yeah, you're one away. You're one
One
away.
away. That's smart by you. I might, yeah, skip this year so we're on even footing going into next year.
Oh God, the main event. I still love that tournament.
Yeah, me too.
All
Well,
right.
as much as I can for something I haven't cashed. So
Shout out to all of you guys. Good luck on the felt this week, this weekend, next week, in the main event, all that good stuff. We'll be back with another episode. I'm assuming, once Wes's main event run's done is probably the next plan. So let's hope that it's a couple weeks away.
yeah, I mean,
That would
maybe
be
because I think they're doing the final table in early August this year.
okay. That's right. They're doing a little delay. Yep, because we got
Yeah. So
ESPN back in the mix.
hopefully I've just final tabled it, you know?
I'm excited for that little delay. I've always been a fan of like the November 9 type stuff, and
Yeah. November feels too long, but
I
I kinda
agree
like
with
the
I agree with that. But I was always a big fan of all of the edited episodes leading up to because then it gave you time to watch each week's episode and really develop these characters, which
I
kind
think
of we've
it's
lost.
really good for the viewers. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I agree. And I really did like the November 9 back when they did that because yeah, it was just a very good
Well, like you
product.
remember a lot of those people a lot more than you do remember a lot of final tablists from the last few years, because they
Yeah,
did.
I have not in the last 5 years, I think I've only watched 2 of the main event final tables, at least like most of the coverage,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, here I am yawning. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, buddy. Good luck today. Slap them around. You know what to
oh, I
give
will.
them.
I will.
All
Right
right.
across the forehead.
Send me some updates, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.